Dave Palumbo with RxMuscle.com. I'm here with Lonnie, the Swami Teper, and we are about to do the 2014 Arnold predictions video. We do this every year, Lonnie, and every year we're pretty much wrong. And well, you're usually right.
The Swami wrong?
I don't know.
Didn't I pick Willie Stalling to beat you for the overall?
No, you didn't. You picked me, I think.
The 95 Junior Nationals?
You picked the guy who won here, the Ironman Naturally, to beat me, though.
Well, could you beat that guy?
No, I couldn't have beat him. He's a Kai Green lookalike. All right, let's talk about the Arnold Classic. I think that this is going to be the best lineup in quite a few years because last year was weak. A couple of years before that, there was no one really to write home about. This year, everyone seems to be jumping in the Arnold. I think the Lormas have to be happy. They have Sean Roden coming in here, Dennis Wolf coming in here. They have Ruli Winkler coming off a great Olympia coming into this event. Branch Warren coming back. The Cedric McMillan. I mean, I know that the lineup is stacked here, and everyone's pretty evenly matched, but I know the Swami must have a favorite among all these men.
Well, you know, everybody's telling me that Dennis Wolf, it's in the bag. Now, as you know, when we did the Olympia telecast, you guys were getting on me because I said, well, Wolf's great, but he's got no calves.
You did say, or he's missing one calf, you said.
Well, then you even said, boy, that right one is really gone.
Yeah.
But, you know, the guy that's next to him, Sean Roden, doesn't have huge calves either, which may help him.
Yeah.
Beautiful physique. I'm going to say if Dennis, you know, brings that package that he had at the Olympia, I'm going with Dennis Wolf.
Very tough to beat.
Very tough.
Mass on top of mass
body,
with symmetry.
Small waist. He's got it all. He comes out, he hits that front line spread. He's a monster.
And you know the Arnold people traditionally like that classic small-waisted, you know, big, muscular, round look. And Wolf has got it in spades, but Wolf sometimes has a problem duplicating from show to show that level of conditioning he needs. I mean, at the Olympia prejudging, he looked like the champ, and then at the night show, he looked like the old Dennis Wolf.
Yeah, and you know, Sean Roden's got a beautiful physique, you know, with the shape, the symmetry, the new age flex wheeler, we call him. If Wolf comes in off, like you say, he's not real consistent. And that's what I'm wondering about. I think Roden's a little more consistent. I think Wolf at his best can overpower Roden. If he's not at his best, I think Sean Roden can win the show.
Do we have to take into account the fact that really these guys didn't have much of a rest? They went through the whole year. They did the late fall European shows. I mean, would they have a month off? I mean, will that come into play with the bigger guys? Usually the bigger guys have trouble staying in shape. The smaller guys like Roden, Dexter Jackson tend to be able to duplicate their conditioning time and time again.
You know who may be helped by that is Pekulski, who was second last year, didn't do the Olympia.
Skipped it.
Skipped the Olympia, so he's coming in more rested than all of them.
But here we got a Ben Pekulski with oodles of mass. When he's in shape, he's peeled to the bone. Some of the best legs in the sport, but he's going up against a lot of shape guys. You got Victor Martinez in the lineup. You got Sean Roden in that lineup. Dennis Wolf. Is he going to have problems? Last year he didn't have much competition. This year though, he's got guys with teeny tiny waist, great broad shoulders.
Yeah, you only have to be better than the person you're standing next to. Those shows were weak. I'm not going to pull any punches. They were weak. This show's much better. We don't have Phil Heath. We don't have Kai Green. But you got Dennis Wolf was third in the Olympia. You got Sean Roden was fourth in the Olympia. Ruli Winkler was seventh, arguably
sixth.
Sixth, if not fifth. I mean, the guy was he's packed with muscle. Pekulski was second 2 years ago. Is Cedric McMillan finally going to be the Cedric?
Well, let's talk about Cedric McMillan, because Cedric McMillan was disqualified at the Arnold Brazil for missing the competitors meeting. He arguably should have won that event. He could have won that show.
Yeah.
I know the Arnold people are very happy to have him back here. Will he recover from that debacle in New York at the New York Pro, where he just looked like a shell of his former self?
Is Chris Aceto working with him?
He is working with him.
I like Chris. I like Chris's approach. Chris's people usually come in spot on. Cedric's been high and low. His problem is his head. He doesn't believe in himself.
Yeah, he said to Chris this time that, you know what, I realized last time I was only listening to you 85% of the time. Now I'm going to listen to you 100% of the time. We might see a very dangerous Cedric McMillan.
Let me tell you, the guy's about 6'2". He's about 260 pounds. He's got a small waist. He's got nice shape. He's got it all if he can put it together. But I'm kind of tired of saying if. So I'm not going to put him in that top three in this lineup. He's got to prove it to me. No, I'm going to put Wolf. I'm going to put Sean Roden. And third is, now, here's a real good question for you, Dave.
Yes.
Branch Warren, who's won the Arnold twice, won the most muscular 5 times. Is he on the way out after that
Looked terrible at the Olympia, but looked good at the end of the year. He made I think he came back.
So
for
did
that.
Martinez.
Yeah, Victor
Martinez is getting better. I think Martinez is going to be in the hunt.
I think that Branch Warren will be very good. You know, we always people always count him out. I say he's going to for sure be in that top 3.
Put him in the top 3, boy. That's tough. I mean, I don't want to say that he can't. He's a great bodybuilder. He's had a tremendous career. Senapani, the ifs again with McMillan. Senapani, could he be 3rd? Can Victor Martinez?
Can Ruli Winkler be 3rd? I think Ruli Winkler proved more than anyone at the Olympia that he is a guy on the rise. And you know what changed? He dropped Grandma, Sybil Peters, and he seems to have gotten better since
Well,
she's
the
been
older
helping
woman, younger man relationship does not work.
He dominated, prior to the Olympia in qualifying. He came to the Olympia and arguably should have been 5th or 6th. I think Ruli has got to be a dangerous competitor in that lineup.
Don't forget, Dave, when I was doing the Arnold Amateur emceeing, who did I call out as the winner one year? Ruli Winkler. Does that have any influence? It is in Columbus.
Well, you called him out. You called him out because he won the show.
That's what I'm saying. He was the guy that won the show. The guy has gobs of muscle. He looked great at the Olympia. This is a great show. Can Yamagishi, who I think was 4th or 5th last year, I don't think
he's going to be a factor in this lineup.
Too tough a lineup. I mean, these got some good people. But Senapani, he's a guy I'm thinking.
Does he have the legs, the wheels to stand with these guys? That's the question.
You know what? He's a big guy.
He certainly has better calves than Dennis Wolf, that's for sure.
Yes.
Give me your top 5.
I'm going to go with Wolf, Roden, Victor Martinez.
Okay.
Who am I missing?
Cedric?
No.
Branch Warren?
4th, I'm going to go Ruli Winkler.
Okay.
And in 5th, I'm going to go.
And Bukulski? No?
Boy, that's a tough. That 5th slot's that's up for grabs.
Don't forget Tony Freeman's in this lineup too.
I'm going to go Bukulski.
All right. I think I'm going to go Sean Roden, Dennis Wolf, Ruli Winkler, Branch Warren, Cedric McMillan. Who did I forget? Evan Centopani.
Well, that was 6th. I'd have him 6th also. I did 5. I think he said 5.
I know I forgot someone really good though.
We always lose somebody.
Which is just it goes to show you that the show is that good that there's more than 6 guys that could win this show.
Yeah, it's up in the air. Dennis, I would have to say, goes in as a slight favorite with Roden on his heels, but there's 3 or 4 guys that can maybe beat them. That's what makes this so interesting.
Roden looks bigger.
Deadlock.
Roden looks bigger than I've seen. You know who else we forgot to mention? Ed, second to none, also now working with Chris Aceto.
Ed Nunn's a very good bodybuilder. He's like fine wine. He gets better with age, and he's got a great physique. I always thought he was underrated. I thought Nunn
he's very dangerous if he comes in. Troy Alves was on my radio show. He just retired. He told me that in his mind, Ed Nunn's got the best physique in pro bodybuilding from an aesthetic standpoint.
I think Ed could be in that 6th slot too. I think he could battle for the top 6. I really do. I don't know about higher than that.
All right, let's talk about the new 212 class that they've introduced. Flex Lewis, who really has nothing to prove. He is the 212 Olympia champ, coming into this event, trying to stake the first Arnold ever 212 event. I don't see how anyone beats this guy. He's so far ahead of everyone at this point that I think it's a foregone conclusion.
The guy's a monster. I love David Henry.
I think he could be top 3 in the open.
I've been begging him to go into open class for 2 years. I think eventually we're going to see that. But David Henry's got a phenomenal physique. But Flex just overpowers him.
He's too small, Henry.
Just overpowers him. You got Jose Raymond. You got 3 out of the top 4 Olympia guys in there. I got Jose Raymond in 3rd, and I don't know who's 4th. Tricky Jackson?
Yeah, I don't know either.
But
I think Flex Lewis is the champion here. No one beats him.
Here's what I said to Flex Lewis to his face, Dave. I said, "You're no more than an inch shorter than Dexter Jackson. You're thicker than Dexter Jackson."
He is bigger.
Dexter says he weighs 225, 228, 230. So could you, Flex?
You're right.
And he's got,
he could certainly be 220 on stage.
He's 30 years old. Bodybuilders are peaking now at that age. They're going longer. Before you were finished at 32, 35. I'd love to see him in that.
I would too. That's exciting to me. Now, there's no women's bodybuilding. The Arnold people have gotten rid of women's bodybuilding, replaced by the 212. We do have figure, fitness, and bikini.
Yes.
And I know I see Ruth Silverman lurking around in the shadows.
Ruthless Ruth will have the predictions. A Swamette.
I'm going to ask you.
I'm out.
You get 3 predictions: fitness, figure, bikini. Give me your top 2 in each category.
Okay, fitness. It's obviously going to be Oksana and Tanji. I don't think Tanji can beat Oksana.
I've been saying that for 3 years, and she's been beating her. She beat her last year.
I think she will again, and it has to do with because the physique and that the judges like Tanji's physique
yeah,
better.
But you know what though? It's 2/3 their score is the routine. So how does she beat Tanji when 2/3 of the score is routine?
Because
I mean, how does she not beat Tanji?
Because if Tanji comes in second or third in the routines, and they know how to make the scores work. Oh, I did not say that on the camera.
No, but I understand what you're saying. Tanji is closer to Oksana in routine than Oksana is to Tanji in physique.
Exactly, and when Adela is in the mix, Oksana comes out ahead of Tanji, but doesn't win. But the minute you take Adela, as in the Arnold Europe last year, as in the Arnold Classic last year, Tanji wins. I don't want to buck that, although of course I'd like to see Oksana
You know what it is? It's the first place in the physique round that Tanji just pushes her up too high, I think.
I guess. Exactly.
All right, let's go to bikini.
Bikini, I say Yashira Robles, second by 1 point at the Olympic, will slide past Ashley Kaltwasser and those two girls, India and
India Paulina's defending champion.
She is the defending champion, but she and tell me the girl, the other girl, flew to fourth and fifth at the Olympia because, in my opinion, they were too shredded for bikini.
Okay. I don't know. Is Nicole Negrani in the show?
No.
Okay.
Not Nicole Negrani. India Paulino and that next girl on the list.
Natalia Mello in that show?
That's who I mean, the butt girl.
That's bad that I know the bikini girls better than you do.
Oh, I know her well. I'm just, let's call it a senior moment.
So first and second, you think Ashley Kaltwasser will be second and Yashira Robles first?
Let's see if it goes that way, yeah.
Right. Okay, that's fair enough. Figure, I'm going with the white. I mean, Candace Keene does not have to face Nicole Wilkins because Nicole is injured. Candace Keene is a little. Is she injured? Is that what the story is?
She hurt herself. Yeah, Candace Keene is great but not consistent, and I say the new girl Alicia Coates comes through and wins.
Really, that's a very off the wall prediction.
And it's not just because she's the Iron Man hard body in the issue coming out next week, but she's got a great shape.
Is Erin Stearns in the show, right?
No, she is not.
She's not. Then I will say Candace Keene first. I will say Heather D second.
That was the
Candace Lewis third.
That was the acceptable. That's an acceptable one. I just like this girl and want to see what happens to her.
Now, since Heather Dees works for my company, I'd like to see Heather in first. Candace doesn't work for me anymore, so I'd actually like to see Heather first, but I think that Candace is hard to beat.
She's hard to beat when she's on. She was not on at the Olympia, so she's not consistent.
If she's off, I think Heather can certainly sneak in there.
They love Heather, that is true. But I'm going with my prediction. Wild card, Alicia Coates.
All right, you heard it. The men, the women, we don't know what will happen, but we are making the predictions. We go on the record, we do it, we say it, and then we shamelessly crawl away when it's all said and done. I am Dave Palumbo here with Ruth Silverman. Lonnie Teper is scampering to go get dinner, and we are here at the LA Fit Expo. We will be at the Arnold Classic in 4 weeks. Check out all the coverage all weekend long on rxmuscle.com.